Okay, I'll not take all the time. I don't have much to say. Basically, it was good to hear people talk, and it's always good to understand what's going on and assimilate it in some ways that it makes sense because a lot of what we continuously hear on the television or we hear from the social media or participating in prospective meetings like this, one definitely is left with a certain amount of confusion because it's very early days to say that we have absolute clarity. If somebody says that much of what's happening is taken care of, I think they're trying to tell a different story, and that has only story value. It doesn't have real value. So therefore, I think first and foremost, I need to thank all the panelists and the perspectives that you brought in this afternoon. And my take-home messages are just a few, given the fact that uh, each of you had been given only 10 to 15 minutes. And I would say, first and foremost, um, it's going to be a tireless job and it's going to be a hard fight. So I would say to each of the panelists who are fighting the fight, make sure that you have preserved energies, conserved energies, because in the long run, I think you'll grow with understanding, and therefore your contributions will be significant. When I hear Ashok and the way he talks about having gone into a zone of aging, uh, I don't see a older man. He's a young guy still because he is
Thank you.
really making sense out of what he's saying. So good, Ashok. There is no question of Alzheimer's around you. Uh, Diabetes might be a problem for you, but then that's handleable. But one request is that don't keep drinking too many beverages within a short time. So that should take care of you better.
It
But I think the more important point is that um, disenfranchised people, and during these difficult times,
mm,
are going to continue to face the biggest brunt and the largest of challenge.
beautiful.
And it takes me back to the time in 80s and 90s, and Ashok would recollect that very well, that we all got into the battleground thinking that we are in it for the short time. But then 35 years ran away from the time we detected HIV at Madras Medical College, where I was an assistant professor at that time. So I think in COVID also we need to plan for the long haul. Though the illness that the virus produces is only for a short period of time, maybe maximum of 3 weeks, the debility it might leave could be much more. And it also is questioning a lot of social conditions in which people in India are living. So we are in it for the long haul, just like how in HIV the battle is still on. It is not as if we have won the victories. Second is that I think over the period of time, we did realize in HIV, people have to make sure that the relevant and important voices are brought to the forefront in order for people to know and learn. Because I was shocked to understand that our government with a very measly sum of $13 million available from Global Fund, applied for personal protective equipment for people in the front lines. Bull garbage shit. When World Bank is given $1 billion for the health sector to be upgraded. Now, the voices have been muted that we didn't even have a whistleblower who could actually reach out to the Global Fund and say, you fools, you're giving money to a country where that money is not required. But 30 years ago, the guts it took to a lot of people, and I'm remembering people who have died even now, to walk up to authorities and confront them on their face. Today, I think that guts is lacking because we don't have the people who have the real hardship go to the powers and call the bluff. So my second message is, we need to make sure that opportunities and spaces are given to the people who are actually bearing the brunt of what's going on with COVID and the confusion. The third, I think, which I think is my take home from this conversation, is we need to continue to keep hammering home to ourselves our relative roles and responsibilities. I really thank all of you because I would have probably spent this afternoon sleeping, which has become my compulsive practice these days. But to keep me up and to be engaged, and particularly thank the facilitators Purnima and Drishya, and Ash and his colleagues for organizing this, and as usual pulling me out of the woodwork and managing to make sure I remember I'm not fossilized, but I'm still alive. Thank you so much indeed.